This is definitely not financial advice. I'm a guy in my basement tooling around on the blockchain on the cutting edge of technology. I have no idea what I'm doing. Sometimes drinking some coffee, sometimes hitting the Dubois. Let's talk about hackers. Hacker sends back 9 million to the Nomad bridge after a 200 million exploit. The hacker sent back 9 million to Nomad a day after the cross-chain bridge was exploited for 190 million. That's basically nothing. Blockchain security company PeckShield said 9 million has been returned so far, equating to around 4.75%. Woo! What Nomad was a cross-chain bridge. You were able to transfer your assets between Ethereum and other chains like Cardano, Cosmos, and others. And I've warned very heavily about the risk of using bridges and the risk that there is to bridge smart contracts and holding bridged synthetic assets on other chains. It's absolutely a risk. There's a risk profile that's added to holding those assets that most people don't understand. And here's where you see the issue. So say you had a bunch of USDC on Ethereum, and you're like, man, I got this $1,000 in USDC, but gas fees are so high over here, I can't even do anything with it. I can't yield farm because gas just eats it up. Well, maybe I'll use this Nomad bridge and go over to Cardano and get my synthetic USD on Cardano and go farm over there where there's no gas fees really, and I can actually make yield, right? Well, then you go do that, you deposit your USDC in the Nomad bridge, smart contract, they print you up some synthetic USDC on Cardano, and off to the races you are. You think everything's good, you're on Wing Riders, exchange, you're farming USDC to ADA, making this crazy return, and bam! Nomad bridge is hacked, there's no more USDC to back your synthetic, all of a sudden your funds are frozen, and you have $0. It's worth nothing. And that's the problem we have. People don't understand the bridge risk, what they're doing, why you should have native assets on that chain, why using something like a centralized exchange is probably the best way to change chains at this time. If you want to go from Ethereum to ADA, I highly suggest you go Coinbase. You send your Ethereum to Coinbase, turn it into ADA there, whether you have to sell it for USDC, buy your ADA. Then you take that ADA and you go off onto the ADA blockchain and you get native assets on the Cardano blockchain. First of all, there's already enough reason for people to get hacked already on their own tokens. We don't need to add another layer of a bridge and risk where something could be hacked, right? I think we're on the bleeding edge of technology. Like the bleeding, cutting edge. Like we're in the tip blood that's falling off the tip of the bleeding edge of the knife of technology, and there's always room for these exploits to happen when that's happening and people are building this. I definitely think people need to be careful and not be so quick to jump at the newest, latest, and greatest thing to try and earn some yield, and kind of like hold back, take a deep breath, understand that just holding the native asset and understanding what you're doing will probably make you a great return over the course of your lifetime. You don't need to gamble like crazy. You don't need 100x over the course of a week to survive. You might want it, but you don't need it. So here we are. Nomad bridge has been hacked. Tons of people that have bridged assets to other chains are sitting there, no assets, nothing in the tank. And there's a ton of projects as well, like Wing Riders and others that are highly affected by these bridges that tried to bridge ERC20 tokens over to Cardano and stuff. That's all we got to say about the Nomad bridge. Comment down below about the exploit. It was very interesting to see that this was the first decentralized robbery or decentralized exploit or hack wherein if you could copy the exploiter's transaction out of Etherscan, you could just change the deposit address to your own and send that transaction out and be a part of the robbery yourself. And many people did that. The actual scammer himself got front run, and a lot of people were able to complete the same transaction and steal some funds for themselves. So very, very interesting here. The first decentralized robbery on the blockchain is the Nomad bridge. Goes down for $190 million exploit. Comment down below what you think.